Hey sweet friends. Okay, a quick little video here. You remember I said last night with our pork chops and leftover gravy and all of that that we could probably make it into something else? Well, I thought, well, I should do some buttered noodles. Have y'all ever heard of the buttered noodles, cafeteria noodles, or whatever they call them? They're so good, they're so easy, and they go with so many things. So I thought this is perfect for this leftover pork. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, I have my water over here. It has come up to a boil. I just put in a little bit because we're only going to do maybe about half of this package of the medium egg noodles here. This is, what are these, 10 ounces, I think, 12 ounces. Okay, but you can certainly do more. I just thought, well, I didn't need that many. And you can do any kind of pasta that you want to make buttered noodles. They're so good. And I know there's a lot of different ways that people make them. So I'm going to show you how I make mine, okay? So I have a little bit of water here. I don't like to get too much water because I like to season it really good, because we like to use some of that liquid after we drain them, you know, our pasta water. So first thing I am going to do is throw in a little bit of heavy whipping cream. Different, I know, but if I didn't have this, I would just cook them without it. But when I do have it, I do like to add a splash in. Hang on, let me grab me a little measuring device, and that way I can let y'all know exactly how much I use. Okay, y'all, so this here is a half a cup. I'm not going to use that much. I'm thinking maybe about 1/4 of a cup or so, so probably be about half of this, yeah. 1/4 of a cup of this heavy cream. And I'm just going to do that to kind of help get the rest of that out of there. All right, there's that. And again, that is optional. You can totally make good buttered noodles without that. And then I am going to toss in some of our chicken bouillon. Okay, let me get me out a little spoon here. I am thinking a good teaspoon, a good heaping teaspoon for sure, maybe even a teaspoon and a half, okay? So just eyeball it, and however much you think. We want those to be good and flavored up. Y'all let me know if you've ever had buttered noodles, and let me know what you like to serve with them. I just thought, well, these pork chops and this gravy, or the leftovers of this, y'all, this gravy looks like just a big blob, because remember, we battered up those pork chops and I kind of scraped off all of that and kind of cut them up. You know, the pork chops don't look too bad, like here they are, but the gravy part of it just looks like a big blob. And so I'm trusting y'all to trust me to not say anything ugly about how it looks. It just looks how it looks. But we are going to, here in a second, we're going to put it in this other skillet over here, and we're going to add some liquid to it, and we're just going to renew it. We're going to revive it, and it will be delicious. I promise you. We're going to bring it back, because it does not look good right now. I am just telling you, I am being honest with you. Okay, it looks like our water over here is coming up to a boil. So we're going to do, like I said, I think about half of this package, which we said, what, was 12 ounces? Or I may even do about 8 ounces, give or take, okay? Let's see. Yeah, I would say I did more about 8 ounces of the package. So about 3/4 of that. Let's see, what do we want to mix this with? Let's just get us a little spoon here. All right, let's get those down in there. And remember, egg noodles cook really fast. It does not take long at all to cook these. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and get this part done before we even start focusing on our other gravy. That way we could get these done, set aside while we work on that, okay? So we're just gonna let those boil up for just a second, and I will drain these. I'll get them cooled off a little bit. I will definitely reserve some of this good seasoned liquid that we have here to go back in them, and I'll come back and we'll get all this put together. This is the perfect leftover dish, or like I said, whenever you first make these smothered pork chops or whatever, that would be great the first night served over buttered noodles. So this just kind of gives you another idea of how you can serve this dish, or you can do it the second day like I'm doing. All right, y'all, I'll be back in a second. Okay, y'all, so I cooked our noodles, and I only cooked those for maybe about 5 minutes, or let them boil for about 5 minutes. You know, it doesn't take them long. And since we're only doing the smaller amount of pasta, we're only going to do half a stick of butter. Yeah, I know, half a stick, but if you did the whole bag, you would want to do a whole stick. Remember, these are called buttered noodles. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this half a stick in the pan back here, and just have it ready to go as we have them sitting aside as we work on our pork chop and gravy over here that we had from last night. All right, so here goes, y'all. Y'all see, this is what is left. It looks absolutely terrible. I know. I mean, like, I scraped off of the pork chops and everything else. Oh yeah, and I did put about maybe a fourth of a tablespoon of butter in here just to kind of help this get going. And we're going to put just a big spoonful of this stuff in there, I guess you would call it. Okay, and now I have some water here, and this, we're going to revive this, I promise you. All right, so we're going to pour some water in here. This was about 1 cup that we started with. See, it's already looking better. It's just, it gets so thick from where it was cold. And then I scraped that batter off of the pork chops, because it was soft anyway. It wasn't like it was a crispy batter that was on there, because anytime you batter up a meat and then cook it in a gravy, it's going to get soft, okay? So, and this is still not going to be a smooth gravy, because remember, we have onions in here and just different things, okay? So let's see how much we want to do. All right, so that's about half a cup, and we're going to add some more seasonings to this, and like I said, we're just going to bring it back to life, and it will be delicious, I promise y'all. Okay, let's do just a little bit more of our good stuff here. I mean, this is where our flavor is that we need. There's little Belle. What you doing, Belle? You smelling all this? She went up there and got in the bed, I think. Now here she has come back. You want Mama to put you in your chair? You want to get in your chair? Hang on a minute. I'll get you in just a second. Hang on. Alright, so now what we're going to do to add a little bit more flavor back into this, we're going to do a little splash of our soy sauce. Not much. Just a little bit. You got to remember, we had a lot of water back into this. So just a splash. Get my little spoon over here, and we're going to do a little bit of our beef broth, okay, or our beef bouillon, I'm sorry, just maybe about half maybe about, what is that, about half a teaspoon. That's what we're going to go with anyway, give or take, all right, let's mix that around. So see, now that's looking more like a good smooth gravy, right? It smells delicious too. All right, I'm gonna turn that down now, because we really don't want it to get any thicker. It's plenty of thick the way that it is. And what I'm going to try to do, I think, is move, once I get this kind of how we want it to be, I'm going to move it over here to the other burner, and I'm going to bring the other one over here so we can work on our buttered noodles. All right, so here's our pork chops that I just kind of diced up. We're going to just toss them back in this. Okay, and y'all, I'm telling you, you're going to want to make these pork chops. They were amazing. They are still amazing today. When I was cutting them up, even with them being cold, I was nibbling on them. They're so good. All right, what am I looking for here? Let's see. What do I need? All right, let's do this. I mean, they're just amazing. See that? Look at them now. Doesn't that look delicious? That's perfect. I don't think we need to add, we might need to do, let's do just a little bit more water because I know it's going to kind of thicken up and lose some as they sit here and simmer. But we'll give it a taste and see if we need to add any other seasonings, but I think that's going to be about right. You got it. Okay. So now, let's see, I'm going to move it right here, and I'm just going to turn this really low and just let those hang out. I'm going to get this out of the way. Y'all hang on, let me kind of get this out of the way. Let me get our pasta back up here, and we're going to get these butter noodles made up. All right, y'all, now we are going to focus on our buttered noodles. So our half a stick of butter is pretty much melted. Alright, so now we are going to put in our garlic. I have about 3 cloves of fresh chopped garlic here, and I just roughly chop it. You can do however much or little you want. I'm just going to let that cook around, and while we're letting that cook, I am also, and all this is optional, I'm going to do just a few crushed red pepper flakes, and I mean just a few. It just gives it a little bit of spice. You don't have to add many at all. Just a few. There we go. Okay, we got that. Let me set that out of the way. I'm going to do some dried parsley. Let's see here. How much of this do we want to do? Just, that's maybe half a teaspoon or so. We're going to go ahead and put that in there. We're just going to let all those flavors cook in while we're waiting on that garlic to cook down a little bit. And then I like to do just a tiny bit of oregano. Not much, just a little bit. I mean, just a tiny sprinkle, not even enough to measure. Okay. I'm going to do some fresh black pepper. Okay. I wish y'all could smell this right now. You know this smells fantastic. So good. Alright, y'all, I'm just going to let this cook for a couple of minutes, just enough to let that garlic mostly cook down. That's the main thing. And I'll come back and we'll get this thing rolling. Okay, y'all, our garlic has cooked down pretty good. I'm going to get our egg noodles here. I'm going to toss those in. Let them get good and coated and all that good stuff. I'm serious, I wish y'all could smell this. I wish you could smell it through the phone because it is fantastic. Now remember, you can do any kind of pasta you want. I almost did some little bow ties. I had some bow ties, but I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and go with the egg noodles. But any pasta will definitely work. Okay, now we are going to add in some of our reserved liquid here. You see how good that looks because we put that heavy cream in there. It has that chicken bouillon. Let's see, so we're at right at a little bit under 2 cups. So let's see, we're going to add in we did about 3/4 of a cup. Okay. Now we are going to go ahead and put in some parm, just some grated Parmesan. I'm thinking about, I don't know, what is that, about 1/4 of a cup right now. We'll add more, but just for now, to kind of let these cook for a second, I'm gonna turn it up, let them cook. This is why you don't want to overcook your pasta, because you're gonna want to let it cook here and all that good stuff for a minute. So you want to allow a little bit of cooking time, okay? All right, just a couple minutes and I'll come back, y'all. Hey, y'all. All right, this is all done. I have just been letting it sit here and cool off a little bit, and I'm gonna do some fresh parm over the top of our pasta. I tell you what, y'all, this pasta is so good. You have got to try this. If you don't try anything else, you have got to make these buttered noodles like this. They just, it's like you're in a Italian restaurant. Like, that's how it feels. They are so good, and they would go with so many things. Please, I want y'all to try them. And that's the thing about this video. So with this video, you could either just make the buttered noodles, or you could make the smothered pork chops and serve them with this, or you could do the smothered pork chops and then serve them over this as a leftover, like I'm doing. So many different things that you can do with this, and you cannot go wrong. Those smothered pork chops are to die for. This pasta is crazy good. I mean, you cannot go wrong with either one of these. I'm telling you, I could just eat this whole thing of pasta just by itself. It is so good. I've already been nibbling on it, and I'm like, I've got to stop because I'm gonna overeat my portion control that I've been trying to have here lately, and I've been doing so good with it. But y'all, they are just, the flavor is outstanding. All right, let's see, what are we gonna use to get these pork chops out with? Let's see. Y'all see, they cooked up so good in that gravy that we made. I mean, they look as good or better than they did last night. Oh, I mean, now the only thing is they're just all chopped up. I'm just going to put some of these. Now, if you want to just mix all this together, you can. I didn't, just that way if I want to do something different with one or the other, then I have that option, you know. So, you can do it whichever way. Well, I know y'all can't see down here where I'm putting this on here, but I'm fixing to show you. I'm telling you, like some good homemade meatballs or something over that good pasta. Oh my gosh. Delicious. Y'all know how I am about pasta anyway. Alright, y'all, here we are. And this is just a leftover dish. The only thing we added was egg noodles. That's it. And everything else, I mean, I already had those. And then this turns into another delicious dinner. You could serve this with a salad, some green beans, or you can have it just by itself, just like I'm having. No vegetable tonight, y'all. That's a good thing about just being you and not having to feed any kids. You just eat whatever you want to eat. There are just no words for how good this is. I'm telling you. That pasta is so good already, and then having that gravy over it, I mean, it gives it a totally different taste, but it is just outstanding. I'm telling, I'm not asking y'all, I'm telling you. You gotta make this, okay? Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Even your kids will go crazy over this. Delicious. You're having company over, make you a whole big bag of these egg noodles. Just kind of double the recipe of everything I did and serve it with something in a big salad. Hey, you cannot go wrong with that. Everybody is going to love it. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for hanging in there with me. I'm fixing to enjoy this. And I'm going to try to get this pasta put up and not eat any more of it tonight, because y'all know how I am with my pasta. Anyway, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.